Problem number 7, we want to find the center and radius of the two circles. R is equal to sine theta and R is equal to cosine theta. This is essentially, I guess, one problem of two different parts. These will just be two separate problems. So the first one we want to look at is R sine theta. Sorry, R is equal to sine theta, is what I should have said. Let's multiply both sides of this by R to get R times R is R squared, and then R sine theta. Why did we do that? Well, R squared, we know from our polar coordinates conversion chart, we know that is x squared plus y squared. And we know, again from our polar coordinates conversion chart, R sine theta, that's y. So multiplying by R on both sides here allows us to get, R sine theta. We want to be able to convert to x's and y's here. So we've got x squared plus y squared is equal to y. This is an equation of a circle. In order to find the radius and the center, we have to put it in the standard form for circles. So what is that? We're looking for x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared. So this is centered at the point A comma B, and the radius is big R. So our goal is going to be to manipulate this to look like this, and then we'll be able to read off the center and the radius from it. Okay, so I'm going to subtract y from both sides. That's going to give us x squared plus y squared minus y is equal to 0. So now I want to make y squared minus y look like y minus b squared. I'm going to do what's known as completing the square. So if I put in a plus 1/4 here, and I add 1/4 to both sides, this right here is exactly y minus 1/2 squared. How did I come up with that? If you haven't done completing the square in the y, you might want to review this. I basically just divided the coefficient of the linear term, the y here, in 2 to get minus 1/2. Squaring minus 1/2 gave me plus 1/4, so that's why I added to both sides here. So we have x squared plus y minus 1/2 squared is equal to 1/4. 1/4 is the square of 1/2. And so we have successfully written it in this form. So now we can just read off our answer here. It is centered. This is x minus 0 squared. So x is 0, y minus 1/2 squared. So it's centered at x is 0, y is 1/2. And the radius is going to be 1/2. Okay, if you haven't done this one before watching this video, you might want to try r is equal to cosine theta yourself before watching the rest of the video. But I will now work out this one as well. It's going to go through in very much the same way. So we have r is equal to cosine theta. We multiply both sides by r to get r squared is equal to r cosine theta. We know this is x squared plus y squared, and we know this is x now. We subtract x from both sides. We want to complete the square here, so we once again add on 1/4. And so this is x minus 1/2 quantity squared plus y squared is equal to 1/2 squared. So this is, once again, comparing it with this, we see the center is 1/2 comma 0, and the radius is going to be 1/2.